All right. Here we go. Experiment number 5. We're going to do the touch rule strategy team that kind of a strategy that I really like. I think we'll go AJ Brown here, but strategy I really like. I made up I feel like I made it up. I'm sure people have done it before, but like I feel like I did think of how it could work, and I don't think a lot of people are going to do it this year. So to kind of go over what it is as we're drafting at the 109 spot here. Touch rule strategy, I think for me is like a couple of years back, you could do 4 running backs early and still get good receiver upside and go like you can go like Brees Hall, and I mean for this year example, it'd be Brees Hall, Barkley, Kenneth Walker, and Pacheco, and that's your 4 running backs at your first 4 rounds. You know, let's throw Josh Jacobs instead of Pacheco or something, right? So that's your first 4 rounds of running backs. I think you could do something similar to that, but now you don't have to take. I was really hoping to get Marvin there. We'll go with. I think I have an Olave team yet in here. Yeah, let's do this. This is fun. We'll do AJ Brown, Nico, so we're live for either quarterback to come back to us, and we can hopefully get an elite quarterback stack. Anyway, so I think you could do something similar to what you did a few years back, where now you could do a 4 running back build with guys that you could project for a touch rule of 10 to 15 touches right out of the gate, pretty much. And that's like pretty close to workhorse. So obviously, like 25 is what some people would think, but 20 to 25, but not really workhorses like that in the NFL that much. Like 10 to 15 touches from day one is like what you want. 15 to 20 more so, but I think you could get that after round 4 easily. So my thought is like, I'm going to grab 4 running backs and stop. Just stop. Grab 4 and stop, just like you would in years past. But now, like, I'm going to make sure I don't fall behind at receiver. So you're doing the same thing, except for instead of taking your 4 running backs early and still catching up a receiver, you can't do that now. You take your 4 running backs a little bit later and then make sure you're ahead at receiver already, or at least in line with the room, so you're not falling behind too much. So I think a lot of people are going to try to do that, but they won't. They'll either grab too many running backs, or they'll be like, okay, well, I grabbed 4 in the last, I've grabbed 4 running backs from rounds 4 to 10, and I'm going to grab at least a couple more because I didn't spend enough capital. But I think now spending 4 through round 4 to 10 could literally be enough. Like you might just have enough running backs to hold you throughout the whole season. So that's where the touch rule strategy came up. That's where it came about. And yeah, just a little bit of backstory on that. And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be strong. I don't think a lot of people are going to like think of it that way. And so I'm going to try to implement it in as many ways as I can. And we'll obviously get back to you of how it works throughout the offseason, how the advance rate works, how it does in the playoffs, if they do get to the playoffs. And I'm going to keep track of all the teams that I did do under this touch rule strategy. And we'll be talking about it. So definitely stay tuned to that, and stay tuned to Find Value Fantasy. All right, coming up with the 3-4 turn. I don't know if anyone else has been experiencing this, but Devonta Smith has been like elusive. Like I've actually been wanting to get I've been wanting to get more Devonta Smith, but he just like is consistently going. So I think he's on the way up on the board. Like he's probably gonna be at 2-3 turn at some point. Probably if not soon, like probably like very soon. Like he's been consistently going ahead of this group of guys, and I think it's probably right. I mean, he was going almost at like the same. He was going there last year, so I don't see why he can't do it again. But yeah, a little bit annoying because I've been trying to get more of him, but that's fine. Let's get. Let's get Jalen Hurts. Not about going like the Dell route, but let's just get Hurts. Let's lock him up. 3rd round Hurts is fine. Let's lock up a quarterback premium stack. I don't think I have that yet in this contest. So we're coming back on the clock soon with the running backs. A couple of these guys are the touch rule candidates, but I will probably be looking at Kelsey or Tank Dell if available. Kelsey seems pretty fun to just add on to this build, even though I'm going to be having 1 Eagle. maybe it's better to wait for Goddard. But I think this is kind of fun to get Kelsey here if I can get him in the 4th. So, okay. Every time I've like floated getting Kelsey in this contest, I've just not got him. So maybe I just need to stop talking. But yeah, let's go take Dell. Man, maybe we'll do bully quarterback if we're feeling frisky. I mean, it's not really a strategy I like personally. I think it's like kind of bad, but the thing about bully tight end or bully quarterback / tight end is if you make it to the finals with that team, like that's a sick team because then you have like you have a really strong chance of getting a high score, but you're missing out on upside at other positions. So it's good and bad. I think there's some benefits and pros and cons to it, but it could be interesting for sure. Like if you get the right pieces to fall to you. But I don't think it's something you want to force. I think bully tight end quarterback is just very thin. But I mean, there's scenarios where it could work out extremely well for you. But you're gonna know that you're gonna sacrifice points every week because you're probably gonna use two top 6 picks on onesie. So you're effectively wasting that second pick or that's one of those picks. So you need to be able to you got to hit on the rest of your draft big time to pay off that draft capital. Or like last year where half the quarterback pool got hurt, which I don't anticipate happening again. All right, back on the clock. 5-6 turn here. Let's go ahead and Mixon would be the guy I'd be going for typically, but just given like the fact I'm already kind of exposed to these guys, I'm gonna go with Keenan Allen instead. I was already pretty heavily exposed to the Houston team, so like Mixon's a guy I usually love to do in the touch rule strat, but I'm gonna like probably off-put that and then grab either Cook, Kenneth Walker, or Kamara, whichever one comes back, and we'll go with those guys as my first in this build. Kenneth Walker's a guy I commonly do it with. Montgomery has done it a couple times. I've done it a few times with Mixon, Pacheco too. But I've never done it with Kamara. So, I mean, if Kamara is the only one there, I'll take him. But I'm not taking a ton of Kamara this year. Been more on Kendre. I'm kind of betting against his betting like a Kamara goes back a couple steps. But if I didn't have Dell and Nico, I would have gone Mixon for sure. But I mean, maybe I'll still do it because it's a small tournament, and maybe I'll just do it anyways. The thing about that is like it's hard to see them hitting without the other two. Yeah, it's probably better I get Kamara here anyways. So we'll go Kamara. Some guy that I think he's going to be safe for 10 to 15 touches every week. And, for my bags I hope that it's like a 50-50 split. But for this team, we're betting on Kamara just holding off any competition all year and being a smash. So start with Kamara on this touch rule team. Goddard, definitely a big target here to get my double stack with Philly. Don't need it. You don't need a double stack with Hurts at all. It's kind of like Lamar. You don't need to be stacked with him. So I probably should do some Lamar teams unstacked and some Hurts teams with some maybe even unstacked. I probably would want to have at least Goddard on a. I definitely want to have at least Goddard on a Hurts team, but we could see. And then this might be a time where I go Warren or like Harris and Brooks or Warren and Brooks. I think that's probably the range I'm at here. Definitely a range I love a lot there's a lot of guys with some good predictable volume. We got Zach Moss too, a little bit farther down. So some pieces here that I'm going to like a lot for this build. All right. Aaron Jones does not fit what we're looking for. We're going to grab Jonathan Brooks. Probably one of my favorite people to put in these teams. I just think he's going to get a ton of carries, dude. I think he's going to get like probably by like week 8. I don't know. I'm just like spitballing, but I think he will get a ton of work early. And then here I'm looking at Zach Moss or Najee. Najee definitely preferable. Swift is probably in the mix for that too. Like there's really no reason to think that he's not going to get, it's 10 to 15 to 20 touches every game. But there's competition there. Whereas like I'm very confident Najee's getting 10 touches or 15 touches a game. Most likely, one or two targets with like 12 carries or something like that. So Zach Moss goes. So hopefully we get Najee. Don't say that very often. We got Najee, so we got Kamara, Brooks, Najee, and then probably one more guy. So I mean, you don't have to go back far to like think about. I mean, obviously minus Brooks, but like think about where these guys went. Like Najee was like in the 4th round last year, and then like before that he was like in the 2nd, or maybe vice versa. But like you don't have to go back far to see like where you're getting these guys that were going much later. And the only difference is like the receivers moved up, the running backs moved back. Most of them did, except for like the top tier running backs that are, reasonably priced in my opinion. Like there's a reason why they've gone up so much. Receivers important, so that's why they're up high. But if you try to do that now, it's not going to work because you're just going to be probably too far behind a receiver. More often than not, you could still try it and you can make it work and makes like logical sense, but you're still going to be probably suboptimal. So I think you could do that now, but just do it with later guys, and that's what I'm going to be trying to do. And yeah, we'll see if it works out. I'm hoping it does, because I'm going to try this strategy a lot in a lot of different contests, and hopefully it could be a successful one. And honestly, it feels like you can get strong upside at running back and not spend too much capital, and then also kind of get your elite at other positions, whether that be quarterback or tight end or both. All right, I've been thinking about this turn quite a bit. I'm gonna go with B-Rob and be done. Yeah, like legit done at running back. I'm done. Like I could go one more in this range and feel a little bit safer, but I think I'm gonna stop and kind of play it this way. Like you're looking at guys that all should be getting carries like all year, and then I love getting Brooks in this build because it like when I do these touch rules, it always feels like I don't have upside, but then when I add Brooks in, it just feels like I have both upside and early season. Like Benson, I love, but I don't see the early season upside as much. But with Brooks, I do. Or yeah, Brooks, I could see it in all season long. Benson, I love his late season outlook, but it doesn't fit with this build at all. So I like this a lot. Najee probably going to get work all year. Maybe gets passed late. I mean, it might be fine even then if he gets passed by more. And B-Rob, I feel like is the guy there. Eckler's going to get work, obviously. We're on a touchdown heavy site. These guys can all score. Miles Brooks, we haven't seen him scoring, but we've seen a lot of touchdowns from Kamara, Harris, and Robinson all collectively. And Goddard just fits out very good here. So pretty easy picks here for me. And now we really can do a lot of things. We probably go one quarterback with Hurts, and then we can go 2 tight end, however we want to allocate that capital. And then we could just figure out our last quarterback based on what receivers we take now, and we'll be hammering receiver pretty much the rest of the way. We could do like a back stack with Cousins. We avoid bye week there. We can go back stack with Watson. We avoid bye week there. Stafford, not really worth it until you get Cupper, Puka. Rodgers is like okay. You could do it with Baker. It's not great. Geno's there too. So we have options. Maybe we'll do the Bryce Young back stack. I've not done a lot of that, but that might fit well considering we are at Brooks. That might be fun. Might go that route because I like Drake May on this team, but to avoid what we just did on the last experiment, I don't want to do Drake May with this team because he might not play until week 8, and then I'm definitely taking a 0 at quarterback if I leave him with Hurts. So not a good format. Like if Hurts had a week 10 or like 11 bye, then I would be probably smashing Drake May there. But it's hard to. I mean, all the elites don't have. I think Josh Allen has like a week 12 bye maybe. Not 100% certain on that. Where did Allen go? He's week 12. Like Josh Allen and May makes a lot of sense as like a combo, but some of the other guys don't make quite as much. So yeah, definitely want to think about that when you're taking a May team. Even Knicks too could be in the same scenario, but hopefully Knicks starts a little bit earlier. But I mean, the goal is we want May to start like week 1, but I don't think that'll happen. All right, back on the clock. I think I'm gonna go. It's like kind of unfortunate here. I'm not gonna reach for Polk, I guess, at 136 if I don't get the guy I want. I'm gonna get Ligeti first, just because he. It's kind of like sometimes it's not great. I mean, it's not like I'm reaching that far for him or anything, but sometimes it's like you should just wait and see what the room gives you before you're like assuming I'm gonna get a Bryce Young stack. But I want to make sure I get the Bryce Young setup. So hopefully I can at least implement it, and then I can do the. I love doing the JT Sanders double too, and get them set up like that. But hopefully I get Josh Downs. I'd like to get him as another guy there, and then I mean, I'm not worried about week 14 in this scenario. I'm not as thin as some others could be. And the thing about week 14 bye is like everyone is dealing with it. Like this, most like you could be in a good situation if you don't have a lot of week 14 guys, but there's going to be a ton of teams in your pod that are going to have week 14 sprinkled all over the place. So you're going to like someone's going to be dealing with it or like dealing with the repercussions of it. So yeah, definitely have a good little backstack set up with Bryce Young. Now I can get the double with Brooks, Leggett, and Sanders. I guess it's a triple technically, but you don't really include the running back in that usually. Double passing stack at least. I think his name is like Xavier Ligeti though. I gotta start pronouncing it right. Probably annoying to just keep pronouncing it wrong, but I'm not sure everyone knows the pronunciation of these guys yet. So we'll learn. I'll learn. I'll try to do my research and get it better. All right, back on for the 13-14 turn. I really like doing these type of builds because if you can if you're just like set up where you can not necessarily only rip receiver, like if you can just grab running backs and receivers in this range, it feels a lot better because if you're just like waiting for your tight end, also I should probably think about my last tight end or second to last tight end as well, to be fair. But if you're just kind of waiting like at the end for you need another receiver or another two receivers and you have to pick them at 17-18, like it gets pretty gross. Like there's some guys down there that are fine, but not a lot. Whereas right now I could just take all these receivers that are pretty nice in this range and not have to worry about it late because I already have like my last two picks pretty much figured out for the most part. Like JT Sanders will be like my 17th, and then I have Bryce Young as my 16th, and I got one more pick after that most likely. Like that's pretty nice to feel that way. Is just be able to grab these guys that sometimes I don't get access to this like Wiggetti range and the Josh Downs and the Roman Wilson because I have to take a quarterback then or a tight end or it gets kind of gross when you don't have the luxury. So it's nice to just grab whatever receiver I want in this range and not have to like worry about reaching or whatever. So it does afford you a little bit of flexibility. The only thing that you lose, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because even then, like if some crazy running back value falls to me, I could still grab one more and have that luxury. If this was like 5 already, then I probably would have just turned off running back completely. But in this situation, if like I just wanted Chandler super bad, I could grab him and it would be fine. I might even consider it personally, but there's another guy I want more right now that I don't have a lot of exposure to that I want to get more. And I think like this fits well with like a rookie. Like this is a pretty good core of receivers with a bunch of rookies on top. Or I mean, Josh Downs is not a rookie, but some reason doesn't have a picture still. So Ty Chandler goes. That was the only guy I was even considering maybe taking, and it fit with like kind of worked out well. But I'll grab Corley, and I'm fine with that. So yeah, we're just ripping rookies here, and that feels great. So we're grabbing 2 tight ends, so probably don't want to go 2 rookies with Goddard, but I'm down to go like the Henry, Jawan, and we can go Conklin and get 2 Jets right there. Definitely some guys I don't mind taking. Fant is always good. I mean, I always like taking Noah Fant. I like taking Dulcich, but I kind of want to like only take him if it's like a correlation piece or it's with like a mini stack or with Knicks. Like I should not take him otherwise. There's really no reason to take Dulcich because he could just be the tight end too, and that's not a good bet. So probably should just be taking him with Knicks only. But I'm hoping like some more FUD comes to Drake May because I want to get unknown Drake May. Like I want him to be like, I don't know, 50% owned in BBM or something crazy. Like that would be crazy. I would be really happy with that. Or like even in like content and like small time box contest, he like ends up being like pretty much unowned, and I can have like a 20% Drake May. Like that's pretty fun as well. I'm willing to bet on him, and it's like he's not going to kill me if he doesn't do great, but he could just pay off in a big way, and he's just getting cheaper, and I really like that. And he could easily move up to like the 150, 120s range if things go well. So a lot of meat on the bone there if he goes up. If he gets some good camp reports. All right, on the clock. Let's go with let's get a little more like let's get a little more exposure to this Tampa Bay, Carolina stuff. I didn't really think about it too much until now, but I like grabbing a little more exposure to that Week 17 game. I don't have any Philly, Dallas, but I do have the Carolina, Tampa Bay pretty locked up with like a lot of correlation in that game. So, which is fun because I'm going to have a Carolina stack, and then I'll have some Otten, and then I might be able to grab McMillan too to go with that, and just grab another rookie. But yeah, I just love having the luxury just to grab up rookies late, and that's what I'm able to do on this team. Or it's harder when you take like Keon Coleman early, and you're taking a pretty big leap right there when you take like a Keon or Lad early sometimes, and you just like that could be a massive bust and really break your team. But you're taking a Keenan Allen instead, you're kind of bypassing a lot of that risk and still getting a strong team. So we got Bryce Young with Jalen Hurts, and then we got him stacked, and then we have another back stack coming up, and then pretty much hopefully our last two picks can be here, but we'll see if we're able to find that those two available. Because I think getting another Tampa Bay piece is fun, but we also just have like other pieces we can grab from any punt receiver really. So, all right, okay, here we go. Let's get Jalen McMillan to get a little bit more bet on that Carolina Tampa Bay game. That is who they're playing, right? I'm not just crazy, right? I'm pretty sure it's Carolina Tampa Bay, right? It is. Okay. Just making sure I wasn't losing my mind. But yeah, did a lot of drafting today, and it's been fun, but definitely kicks it out of you once you're doing like 5 back to back to back. But hey, I was able to max it. I was able to get some good content out for you guys, and hopefully that it's enjoyable to watch and at least informational. And I had one of these experiments went really bad. This one felt great because I've been practicing it, but I did implement it pretty well this time, I feel like. So I think ultimately like this touch rule strategy I've been trying to like workshop and work on and try to master is I just think it kind of leaves you an opportunity to be strong at every position and without allocating too much at running back. And it just feels good. Like this could have been a better tight end room and like a little bit worse receiver room probably. But this receiver room feels strong. Like I got 3 really early or 4 early, and then I got some rookies and some upside bets, and then I got 3 tight ends that feel like decent bets. On's kind of just like a correlation bet, but he has like at least a floor most likely, and then 4 running backs that all feel like they got good volume and a little bit of upside with Brooks late. So yeah, I like building teams like this. So I'm going to be continuing to do it, and yeah, we'll definitely be monitoring it and hopefully coming back with some good results throughout the season. But I'll think of strategies like this every year because I think there will be opportunities where we can like, whether that's like a fine-tune adjustment of this strategy or like a completely different strategy where we do something way different, or maybe there's a world where we're like, okay, we go 5 receivers is like the best way to go, and then you stop getting receivers, or maybe 6 and you stop getting receivers, and that's like the best strategy because receivers get pushed up even more next year. That's possible. Maybe rookies are like always over. Like that's something I've kind of thought about this year. Maybe rookies are overpriced now. Not all of them, but some may be a lot more overpriced, at least the ones that are going earlier. And maybe it's a better year to go to the second year guys or those third year guys that could break out late. So I've just been workshopping ideas like that, and I'll always keep you guys posted and try to express what I find, even if you guys don't want to use it or do want to use it. And yeah, I'm always going to be trying to find new ways to make good teams. Yeah, I mean, I think this might be my favorite team so far. Touch rule strategy, one I believe I coined and made up. and I'm going to be implementing this year in different ways and try to master it. And hopefully it's like a good one this year. Who knows if it'll work out? It could be bad. It could be too thin. Who knows? But I think it's pretty strong. I think it's a good idea and something that I don't think a lot of people are going to implement. So I think that's like in that in itself, like it's pretty strong. And it's like it doesn't leave me too weak at receiver either. That's like the one thing is like I've tried other strategies that would leave me very weak at receiver, and that generally isn't a good strategy, but it could work. But this one feels like I still can get strong receivers and attack running back in a kind of unique way. So let's go over the team. We got Jalen Hurts, Bryce Young, Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Brooks, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson Jr., AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Keenan Allen, Xavier Leggetti, Josh Downs, Roman Wilson, Malachi Corley, Jalen McMillan at receiver. We got Dallas Goedert, Otten, and Tavian Sanders at tight end, just Dak with Bryce Young. So fun squad, honestly. I'm very, very happy with it. Not too shabby. Yeah, this has been fun. Fun experiment. Definitely been doing a ton of drafts this weekend. I'm going to try to chill for the rest of the weekend, and I'll have some more content out for you next week. And I'll be getting these out. This is the last one in the series, so this is the end of the series. So appreciate you guys watching it. And I think I have some ideas of doing some more like experiment type things where I experiment with a new strategy, maybe try one for the first time on a stream and see if it works out and record that, or record it once I've like mastered it or gotten better at a strategy that I want to try, whether that be something I make up or something that people are trying, things like that. I think it's fun to kind of experiment, even if it doesn't work out. It's fun, and I think it'd be fun for you guys to see. Like if I fail, like one of my experiments that I did today in this Hound Dog, like did not go well, but I ended up making a decent team. But I've had a couple ones go a little bit astray, so you have to watch them all to find out how that all goes. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little mini series. This is the last one in the series. Went with the touch rule strategy. Been a lot of fun. Gonna enjoy the rest of my weekend, and hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and happy June. We're 3 months away, a little bit more than 3 months away from the season. So soon enough, we're gonna be talking about week 1, and that'll be a lot of fun. So appreciate everyone hanging out. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment on the series. Let me know what your favorite team of this experience were, and which one do you think is gonna place the best. Leave a comment on that one, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.